How's it going, Sha?
Well, apparently, it technically, could be better
Yeah,
today. It seems like.
we're getting there. We're getting the ball rolling, Sha. You know,
Yeah.
I'm back. I'm recharged.
Yes. Okay. So I'll just say this briefly. I'm doing fine. Everything's great. The cat seems happy. Great. Fantastic. Now,
Hell yeah.
please talk about your trip and the
So,
fact that y'all went down there during a hurricane.
yeah. So, we get to the North Top Sail. It's like part of the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Okay.
Right. That's what I'm told.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned this more or less when I got home. I didn't know where I was the whole time there.
Right.
We went for a few days of sunny beach. My wife is into that. My kids are into that. And literally the day we arrived, they tell us, hey, tomorrow there's gonna be a storm. The everything that we advertised, none of that's happening. Then the Airbnb lady hits us up. He's like, not only can you not go outside, everything that belongs outside, bring that inside for me. Otherwise, it's gonna fly away and hit other people.
Uh-huh.
So my first day, I basically was her landlord and super. Um, I drove like 8, 9, 10 hours straight to like move furniture into an apartment. It was amazing, yo.
Uh,
Oh my god! But legit, like I had a blast. My family like really enjoys the beach stuff. I really don't. And part of me, I learned that I do, but not the way that they do.
mm,
Like, I enjoyed going on walks on the beach at night. I found it very cool. I
mm-hmm.
like the sound of water. I don't
Okay.
like necessarily swimming. I'm not against swimming, just doesn't call me as like I gotta do this. Like I could get wet inside, like that that didn't like that wasn't a sales pitch for me. Um,
Okay.
but like walking on the beach at night, I found that super relaxing. Um, I liked waking up early and sitting on like the porch patio thing space
Mm-hmm.
that we had and watching sunrise or sunset. I found
Mm-hmm.
that along the beach dope. Being outside when it was like peak hot to tan, that doesn't seem like a fun thing to do. Like, and the people that do it, I don't think are having fun. Like, they go out there and they're like, oh, like, are we coming here to lay to tan? And I'm like, it looks like you are trying to survive the very hot weather that you could just go inside and avoid completely.
Yeah, but then
I
they'd be pale.
Right, but like I'm already like I'm black. Like I look like this. I don't need that. And like
Yes,
I'm not
true, true.
against it, but
Mm-hmm.
like I've seen my kids. They're never gonna tan to my level, and I think they should just accept that. You know, like, you are who you are. Wear sunblock and hope for the best, my G, but this is not happening. But like I did enjoy it overall. Um so much so
Oh no.
that by the third day, I was like, yo, I think I could live here, Sha. Like
What?
I
Three
was
days? 3 days. You ready to
so
live on the Outer Banks of North Carolina?
straight up, yo, but I want you to see my roller coaster, Sha. I was there. I'm digging it. The vibes were super relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
I was problem solving. I was like, where do I get food? I was shopping at this place called the Food Lion.
Yeah, Food Lion.
Yeah, I never heard of this before. Very big thing down south. Kept
Well,
seeing them.
it's regional. It's probably like mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, I was seeing a Food Lion all over the place. My man lined up all over the hoods of North Carolina. I was like, this is
Mm-hmm.
dope. So I was like, I could dig this. I could become a Food Lion dude. It's like, their associate. I could do that.
Uh-huh.
Then I talked about the internet. Internet was trash, admittedly.
Okay.
But I was like, that's the trade-off I get for inner peace. I think
Uh-huh.
that's worthwhile. You get the beach, you lose the internet, apparently.
Yeah, kind of hard to run them wires underneath sand.
Yeah, it was explained to me a lot. It took like a lot of convincing, but I was like, okay, I get that. Um,
Uh-huh.
the The delivery aspect of it, I wasn't thrilled. As the Amazon Prime abuser, who gets like deliveries like 3-4 times a day, every day.
Oh no, yeah, you got to plan that out.
Yeah, they told me that they get a Amazon Day. So
Yes.
like,
Okay.
yeah, they're like once a week the Amazon truck will come down this far in the, because I was at the end, like that island at the Outer Banks. I was at the literally like a block away from where the island ends.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, how do y'all get deliveries? He's like, oh, we don't. Like, we have a P.O. box in the mainland. And
Mm-hmm.
if you need something from Amazon delivered to your home, they'll do it, but it's once a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, I can get around that. So I was accepting this new future. I could afford the property here, you know? I was talking with Gabby. Gabby loved it. She was super hyped. And we went to bed that night. And when I tell you that I started having panic attacks.
Oh, what? Why?
Straight up, because I couldn't, like, I was like, yo, I need the city. Like,
Oh, sound wise.
Yeah, like it was like
too quiet.
Yeah, because it was peaceful, and like I was starting to like trying to envision a new future, and my body was rejecting it. It was like, no, we need the streets. Like, where are the sounds? What are you going? And like I started picturing like what you gonna do for sandwiches? Where you gonna get good pizza? You seen the pizza out here. Every single New York positive thought that I've ever had attacked me the whole night. I couldn't sleep at all. Like I'm sure I was the most stressed out person on a peaceful ass beach that has ever been possible that day. Gabby woke up the next day. I'm like covered in sweat in a central AC room by the beach. She thought I went swimming. And I was like, no, I think I'm sick. I've been rejecting. I think I'm allergic to the idea of not living in New York. And she like laughed it off, but like I told her how I felt. And yeah, I had to like, she had to like calm me down and like bring me back to like, hey, listen, we just thought about that. That's a cute idea.
Right.
I would love to do it one day, but like it's not happening tomorrow. Like we're still going back to New York.
Yeah.
And that settled me.
Yeah, you can also just be in a nice place and not imagine living there.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's also an option. Like, I know I know there's talk of it because like your dad has started going down to North Carolina, right, to do some business and things like that. So the idea of moving in general might freak you out, but you don't. I recommend not having too many life-changing thoughts when you're out in the cut, because the silence, it's so quiet that you hear, like you literally hear your thoughts standing up and climbing to the top of the soapbox and adjusting the mic. Like you hear all of that. So like that's not the time necessarily. Also, when you're just you could just enjoy the place and not think of what would it be like to live here? Because yes, all of those things are true. But I also don't think that if you were to move, I think you'd be fine in a southern state. It would just have to be more of a city.
Yeah.
Which would still be a city in the South, a big city in the South will still be kind of country for you. Okay. Because you're used to only seeing the sun like, for 40 minutes a day or whatever. So like you still have to learn how to use a lawnmower, and that alone is going to be out in the cut for you. So it's doable, but they're, like my parents, the first house that they bought, we went out there, and I'm staying over and I'm like, great. And I should have known something was up because I looked up into the sky at night and I could see more stars than usual. And I'm like, oh, we out here.
Yo.
Okay. And then I went to bed and I was just like, and I'm already someone who will play a radio or something, some sort of music to when I go to sleep. But I was just like, oh, we are out here. Like, is anyone else out here? I know I saw houses. Are there actually people in them? We are truly in the cut. And that's still It's been developed a bit more, but I mean, out there, it's still got pretty quiet, and that's just a suburb of Atlanta. Y'all were at the end of North Carolina.
We like the day when the storm was happening, the lady hit me up and she's like, I'm gonna send my friend over to make sure. She was super attentive. I'm gonna send my friend over to make sure that like where the flashlights are and that they have batteries. That lady comes over and she's like, yeah, if you have any problems, text the host. She'll call me over. I live a building down, same complex. I said, cool. And so I asked her, I was like, out of curiosity, how long you been here? And she's like, I've moved here 4 years, but I've been coming here my whole life for vacation, retired here when I got the opportunity. But she's like, back when I used to come here, when I first started coming here, there was a turn bridge. Like, I was like, she's like, it's like a drawbridge, except that like it literally like pivots instead of opening.
Yeah.
And she was like, that was the only way in and out of the island. So she was like, now they got like bridges, but like they didn't have that before. So like when you came here, if you wanted to leave, you had to schedule that shit because you could be stuck on the island. And I was like, that's a development that like happened during the life of a person I'm talking to. That's how like recent this has become a place to live at. Like there was just a lot of like little panic attacks. Like,
again, you don't have to live on the edge of the state. You don't have to live in the Atlantic Ocean.
Like when we get over the bridge from the mainland to the island, there's like the first street you could make a left on was the street that led to where we lived at. And it said dead end as soon as you turn because there's no turns on that street. You just go straight. Right. But it's a 4.5 mile drive.
Right.
So like there was we had to put the sign up because like people would drive, 15 minutes and like get stuck and there's no gas stations around here. And I'm like, every detail she kept adding to why they put the sign hurt more. I was like, so like, there's no gas station. She's like, yeah. So like, if you got stuck, you'd have no way of getting help because the houses are about like half a mile apart and there's no stores down this whole street. I'm like, there's no stores for 4.5 miles. She's like, nope, no stores, no gas stations. But you could get help from the police. The police precinct is right at the corner where you make the turn. I'm like, so if I die at the end of the island, and I don't got like, and it's in a car accident, like, how do the cops find me? Like, it's too far of a journey. There's no neighbors to tell them, like, do they find me in the morning? And she's like, yeah, the cops actually like, they make a round up and down the street every 10 minutes.
Okay.
But
I was going to say, it's probably so quiet they heard the car crash.
Yo, straight up. She's like, yeah, we just send the cop is just constantly surveilling. And I was like, the cop? And she's like, yeah, like there is a cop at the police precinct on these days. We got like 5 on the weekends. It gets popping. So we have like extra people. They probably have, and there's like a neighboring, there's like cops from the mainland volunteer to come over on like heavier things like a Labor Day weekend. So she's like, this weekend we'll probably have like 10 cops at the precinct. And I'm like, this is insane that you could count all the cops. Like, that is wild. Like, what is happening here? Domino's went and delivered to me. I checked on Seamless. Not a single place would deliver to where I was at.
Honestly, I'm surprised that Seamless came up in your phone.
Yo. Yo, they said, like, Seamless was like, where are you? Like, straight up.
Yeah, but didn't I tell you? I told you to hit up those grocery stores. When I looked at that map, I was like, oh, no, bro, you in the water. But we hit up all those stores.
And that was the plan. But like the Publix was half hour out. And with the storm, they were like, yo, everything's white. So like it wouldn't even make sense to go there. So like that's why everybody was telling me go to this Food Lion joint. So I went to the Food Lion. They had pretty good stuff, but even they was already getting hit. But yeah, like I think it was nice. Like my kids had a blast. We got some beautiful pictures. I learned a lot about how little I know about nature.
I love it. Yeah, honestly, here's the real question. What we talking about by way of bugs? What kind of bugs did you encounter?
Low key, I didn't get many.
Okay.
Yeah, we got I would say the only bug we got was beautiful. It was they were like luminescent like butterflies. They were like
Hold
really
on.
interesting.
Wait, stop.
I'm sure I'm saying that word wrong, but like
No, they were flying around, right?
yeah,
And they lit up.
they were like neon. So I don't know if they lit
fireflies.
up. Yeah. Nah, I feel like because the fire is
hold
the
on.
wings.
Stop.
No. Fireflies is the butt. Like,
no.
right?
Okay.
Right? These were like the wings was neon.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I'm about to say, bro, if you don't know.
No, I got fireflies in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a couple in my parents' house.
Did they stay there?
It's chill. They represent. It's like the UN, the flies over there. Cause they got the big yard. You know, they like, yeah, we here.
Oh my God. Okay.
They're like the firefly contingency.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was some beautiful butterflies. What I did see was like we got to see a turtle nest.
Oh.
Yeah, like we saw, because it was like right at the end of like the turtle baby making season. Yeah, like they like walk out to the beach. So like when we got there was like an extra text from the lady saying, hey, by the way, normally like you could go to the beach at all hours, but if you go out at night, not to have lights out, because the moms come out to the beach to lay the eggs and they follow the moonlight. And if they see other lights, they'll get distracted and go to the wrong place.
Okay.
So they were like, just like if you walk the beach at night, normally we tell you have like lights on, try to avoid that and just limit how far you go. But we got to watch like people like going out and sitting on turtles nesting areas where they had like 80 eggs to protect them, because apparently like dogs and like other animals will come out and eat them.
Right.
So like they were doing that, but we got to watch the turtles. We watched the little baby turtles going out, making their first little pilgrimages. It was dope. You know what I mean? It was out there trucking, like, oh shit, we out here. That was cool. I watched people fishing. That was
you
dope.
watched people fishing.
Hell, I didn't fish. That was crazy. But I watched people fishing. I asked a lot of questions from afar.
Okay. You just yelled at fishermen?
Yo,
hey,
real talk.
What you doing right now? What's that?
Yo, shot this video of me like yelling from the freaking like the dock. Like, yo, how that going? I got cool with one dude because I kept fucking up, because he was like, because like I clapped the first like 2 times he caught something. He was the only dude I saw like that were reeling in, and like he would correct me. He was like, "Yo, it's just a sock," and like I'll be like, "I'm like, y'all just so excited to be a part of like the nature shit." He was like, "Yo, my man, like I ain't catch nothing yet." You just like he's like, it was almost insulting because I kept clapping when he caught like debris. And he didn't know it was genuine. I was just so excited that the hook works. He's like, nah, B, like that's not it. But he eventually caught some fish, and that was dope.
Were you out there early in the morning?
So where we were at, the beach was private. So like some people do fish while you're swimming. Because like realistically, like I would say I was able to look like a mile down both directions. Probably had like maybe 30 people total on the beach where we were at.
Okay.
That's kind of like the perk. Yeah, it was really nice. But yeah, that was chill. Didn't enjoy Hardee's. I thought that was very disappointing.
Oh no, are you sure?
Yeah, I wasn't impressed. The milkshake was fire. Sadly,
did you have a steak biscuit? Wait, did you have any sort of biscuit?
No, I ordered, I think, everything but the biscuit.
Oh, nah, bruh.
Yeah.
The biscuit. A steak Look, a Hardee's steak biscuit has literally saved my life multiple times.
Damn, B.
But I've never had a burger. I've never had a burger from Hardee's, honestly. I don't even know if their fries are any good.
Yeah, the fries were solid. The chicken tenders I felt were well cooked but unseasoned.
Yeah, I could see that.
The burger's similar. It was very well made. But like it wasn't hitting with flavor.
I think Hardee's is also Jack in the Box.
That's
it's
one of the
company.
2 for ones.
Yeah.
And then we had like there was like a local like thrift shop place called like Shark Attack, where you could buy like last minute clothing if you're like, oh, like I didn't know I was gonna be on the Outer Banks and now I'm here because you know I was turned up and I need a bathing suit.
Yes.
That place was wild. It was like a flea market, but inside. And but the cool part there is they had a local ice cream chain, like Southern Sweets.
Okay.
And that's just slap. The ice cream there was crazy. Like,
all right.
Like I'm diabetic. Gabby is lactose intolerant, and we were like, we'll get a little scoop to share, and we both said fuck this and got larges right after, and just like consoled each other when we got home. Yo, straight up. We got like little ice creams for the kids, like mediums for the kids. We got a little for us to share. And we both had it at the same time. She's like, nah, I need my own shit. And then I was like, what? And then I had it. I was like, hell yeah. And I went right back to the lady, like, yo, just like double up. And like, let's do this. And she like I gave her back the little bit I had of mine. And I was like, put that in a bigger one and add more. Charge me the difference and give her a large. We had some like salted caramel. It was fire, whatever it was.
That's great.
Yeah, it was like legit. I was a big fan of that. Ate it in front of a big ass shark that's in front of the store. Huge shark. Like it's got to be like maybe like 100 feet wide.
Yeah, that sounds
big ass shark. And I was like, okay. We took pictures with the shark.
Sure.
We did the whole tourist thing. Like people definitely knew I'm not from here.
I think they knew anyway. I mean, did you wear your Yankee fitted everywhere?
This is the outfit. Like right here, I'm wearing it.
You wore your summertime Dickies, which is a nice Desert Storm sand color.
Hell yeah.
and a fitted Yankee
I was just like this. I had the Dickie shorts on instead of the long pants. You know, you gotta be summer ready. So I was doing that. And I had a Yankee hat that matched the Desert Storm too.
Sure,
so,
of course.
You know, you got to be in theme, you know.
Yes, right.
It is summer, you know, Sha.
Yeah, I know. You're absolutely right. But and I'm sure, I'm sure they didn't have to see you do the tourist stuff to know that you're probably a tourist.
we went to the turtle hospital, and like it was just like sweet like lady being the tour guide, and like it looked like a bunch of. I was surprised at how many local people were on the tour. Or at least like it felt like there was a lot of people from North Carolina, but maybe not from the Outer Banks that were on the tour or whatever. So like she was like, yeah, if you have any questions or if you have like anything, whatever. And like every time she would say like a turtle fact, I was like, yo, that's crazy. And like they had some wild shit, yo. She was dropping gems, and I'm like, nobody was reacting. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with y'all? Be like, I know comedy, yes, and this lady's performing her ass off, dropping facts, and nobody was giving her love. And I was like, are y'all listening? Like, yo, this is wild. You know? Cigarettes take 10 years to like
be digested?
To like what is it, disintegrate or like
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they were like talking about like things not to throw in the water, and they're like plastic bags take 200 years, and more importantly, they look like jellyfish, which is what turtles like to eat. So it's like the double. It's literally stuck in their throat, and they like eating it, thinking it's the food. You know, and it's not gonna go away. You know what I mean? So yeah, like she's saying, yo, turtles eat this because it looks like jellyfish, and then she showed how similar they look underwater. And I'm like, yo, how 30 people see this and not blown away? I'm like, it's just fire. You know? So I was like, yo, that's wild. And she's like, yes, it is wild. And I was like, how do you do me and that old lady bonded, yo. Shout out to Betty, yo. Wherever you at, yo. Real talk. You was a gem.
Oh my God.
They got a turtle that was hurt and in Jersey, so they sent her down to recover at their hospital, and they named her Snooky. You know what I mean? I thought that shit was dope. They had like a bunch of fun, yo, and I was like, yo, like nobody's like feeling this shit. I was getting mad at my kids because they was just being like blasé about all these turtle facts, and I'm like, yo, y'all not getting this shit is fire, you know? But yeah, I had a
I'm
blast.
writing down blasé about all these turtle facts. That's merch.
But I had a blast exploring the area. I genuinely enjoyed myself outside of the panic of when I started to think about being there long term. To your point, I should have like not done that.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. You can just visit. It's okay. A lot of people visit places that they love, but it's because they visit.
Yeah.
they don't live there. They just visit. You don't have to set up roots everywhere you go. You and your family are preparing to, I think, really live it up. Like actually travel a lot of places. Like I think you want that for your kids, and I think you want that for yourself. And so I kind of see that happening for you. But I will just say, when you go on all of these travels, you don't have to imagine living there. I mean, outside of just like, what would it be like if we lived here? But not like in a, how will I get sandwiches at 2 a.m. way. Like it could just be, just be, that's nuts that we're here, right? That's enough.
That was the only perk we could think of is like, I would definitely not be diabetic just because the lack of food I could get. Like I would instantly.
No, that's not true.
I'd be
Trust
like on
me.
a weird Atkins diet.
Sugar finds a way. That's only because you didn't know where to go. And you were going in the middle of a storm. So trust me, all the sweet stuff had been snatched up by people who were preparing for the storm. But once you're there, you'll figure it out. Absolutely.
And I got invited to a tiki bar. There's like I was getting stuff from the car at like 1 a.m, and this dude was walking his dog, and it was, you know, like when you see people a little too late and they're like, it's two men, they do this thing of like, we say hi on purpose to make sure, this is a normal person, you know?
Well, they would have said hi anyway because it's the South.
Oh, okay.
You say hi to everyone. A thing that, if you're raised in the South, a thing that you have to beat out of yourself if you move to New York is the saying hello to everyone, or smiling, or making eye contact and smiling and like a little acknowledgement. Like you do that in New York if you have some sort of history.
Yeah.
Or something. But like just this morning, I was walking to the train and this older man came up from behind me and he said, "Good morning." And I went, "Good morning." Like he never, and I didn't understand it. And then he said, "Good morning" to a guy coming the other way. And he also was like, "Hello," you know, but then he started pointing and saying hi to a bunch of people and yelling and I was like, okay. Got it. I see. He's like, he's one of the kings of the neighborhood who I hadn't encountered yet.
Yeah.
So he's just, we're on his route. But that energy is what it's like in the South. My mother is from a small town in middle Georgia. And trust me, if we were driving through and we didn't wave at someone on their porch as we drove by the time we got to my grandmother's house, my grandmother was like, "Now, why y'all didn't wave?" And so, like, I don't know how they did that shit.
I love it.
Yeah, so he would have spoke anyway.
Yo, he introduced himself and like he was like, "Yo, come to the tiki bar." And I was like, "I don't know where that is." And he was like, "Yeah, it's like two like building complexes down on the beach, and like it's not official, but it's there." And
okay.
So he was like, he gave me the little plug. He's like, "Yeah, come through," And I thought about it, but like I was like, "Yeah, I got family, like, my family's still up. We were doing like game night."
Right.
So I was like, "Yeah, I'm into it, but like I'm not right now." And I didn't have a way of like, I don't know how we do this again because my cell phone don't work out here.
Right.
And like
yes.
you're like, for all I know, you could be a part of my imagination right now. I've been very
That's like be part of my stretch dream.
Straight up. I haven't slept in 2 days. I don't know if you're real or not. I, but he was like, "Nah, for real." Yo, and like real talk, I think that's what I appreciated the most. That like every time I felt like, yo, this, I don't know if any of this is possible. Like, no one dare judge me or say, yo, you bugging. Everybody just like gave me reassurance. You know, like, no, this is actually happening, sir. And I was like, thank you for that. For real. I wasn't sure. It was beautiful, yo. Real talk, man. Shouts to the South. Shouts to North Carolina. Keep doing what you're doing out there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm a probably, I spent way too much time thinking about business schemes.
Yeah, see, that's, yeah, you're supposed to not. You know, you're just supposed to turn off. But I'm glad that y'all had a good time. I'm glad that you weren't too affected by the hurricane. I actually, all of our listeners, I actually texted Gastor like, "Hey, y'all good?"
Appreciate you, like, thank you.
Like, because when I saw, like, you know, I'm like, oh, I thought it was coming from the other way, so I didn't. When they were like, "Oh, it's going to hit, you know, the Carolinas," blah blah blah. I thought by then it would have like it was cutting through like Georgia on the way like inland, and so when I saw a map, and I'm like, wait, where did he say he was going again? And then I looked up in one of the swirly maps, like, you know, you could zoom in to see what would be affected. And I was like, oh no, that city is right in the middle of anything.
Yeah, yo. Oh,
let me check on them right quick. What happened?
And you did remind me of something. I didn't know that like the warning thing that comes on TV is a real thing.
Oh,
like,
no.
You know that like this is a test of the emergency
broadcast system.
This is only a test. I didn't know that it was ever for real. Like my whole life.
You've only heard the
test. They were like, yo, this is happening right now. All of these places are gonna flood. And I'm like, everybody was like checking on each other. I was recording the TV because I had never seen that in my life. I was so excited about the storm.
Honestly, I remember the first time I heard when it broke into something.
Yeah.
It probably was also a storm. And I feel like I was in my room and my family was watching TV or something. And I just heard the or I was listening to the radio. Yeah. And they were watching TV and it broke in on the radio. And I came out and I'm like, are you hearing this? And my dad's like, yeah, it's on TV too. So I understand being excited. Did you hear like a tornado? Or I guess maybe they didn't have those kind of tornado sirens because there's because it was a hurricane. Yeah. But the tornadoes, since they, you know, I guess they go across land, there's a whole siren system of just, and that means, hey, it may already be here. If you hear me, it is too late. So that's a weird one to hear in the wild as well. I've heard that a few times.
I knew I had no perspective because, like, when the lady came to like check the flashlights and shit, she was telling us like, "Hey, like, you know, the storm's coming," and like everything that she was worried about, I was excited about, and like it was creeping her out a little bit. You know, she's like, "Yeah, you know, we want to make sure that you know, you're prepared because we got the storm coming." I was like, "Hell, you know, my kids are from the city, so I'm excited for them to see some nature." And she was like, "Okay." You know?
Yeah, it's funny to call a storm nature.
But yeah, she was so concerned for my family's well-being. Like, yo, straight up, I know I distrust that lady, but yo, we made it. We was on the beach, baby.
Oh,
you know what
I
I mean?
Gosh.
I got footage of me watching people do things that they do on the beach. You know?
Well, that's as close as we can get.
And I'm happy it happened. I'm happy it went down, but I'm ready to like come out shots blazing for, comedy gang recharged.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. I'm glad. I'm glad that you guys got to experience that part of it.
Thank you, Shai. Real
fantastic.
Talk. Thank you. Let's get into the news.
All right, let's do it.
Chicago TV news crew robbed at gunpoint while reporting on a string of robberies. That's what's up, baby. Chicago television news crew reporting on a string of robberies ended up robbed themselves after they were accosted at gunpoint by 3 armed men wearing ski masks. Spanish language station Univision Chicago said a reporter and a photographer were filming just before 5 a.m. on Monday in Chicago's West Town neighborhood when 3 masked men brandishing firearms robbed them, taking their television equipment, camera, and other items. They were approached with guns and robbed. Mainly, it was their personal items, and they took the camera. Said Luis Godinez, the VP of News at Univision Chicago. Godinez said the news crew was filming a story about robberies in the West Town community that was slated to run on the morning news. He said the footage they shot was in the stolen camera, and the story never made it on the air. Chicago police.
I can't.
Yo,
this is. You couldn't have filmed that shit the night before. Go ahead. All day. That could have been a package. That didn't need to be you didn't have to be outside.
Real talk, man. You know what y'all could have done? That could have pointed on the map where the danger was at, yo.
Here is where you did not have to. It did not have to be like this. You didn't have to, like, you could have just filmed. I don't know. Who are you talking to at 4 outside? You don't need that. Is there not any? I don't know. There had to be another way. Y'all didn't have to be out there at 5 a.m.
Yo, real talk. I don't think they liked y'all. Okay.
Maybe they just. Yeah, that could have. I don't know. Look, I don't. Also, I don't exactly know how to explain this because all I know about Chicago, I've learned from the few comedians that I've met who lived or grew up in Chicago, and literally the show South Side. That's all I know.
Oh yeah, gem of a show.
But when I tell you, somehow when I saw the headline, I was like, this is kind of some of the most Chicago shit I've ever seen in my life. A little bit, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Real
you know?
Talk. Like low key, like it's a crime, but like I was also like, yeah, if I was from Chicago, I'd be proud. Like it's
yes,
weird.
Exactly. That's the other thing.
Yeah, it's the perfect balance.
Like what makes us different from like Atlanta is that somebody would have. There's always someone on the streets in Atlanta for some reason, no matter the time of day. I've spoken to someone who used to walk their dog any time of day. Streets is always watching. So I feel like as they were being robbed, somebody would have been on a porch like, hey, now y'all don't do that. I don't know if it would have stopped them, but I feel like somebody would have said that. Or I feel like in Chicago, you just get it. They just get it done and they're gone. How do you even watch that footage? And you could have reported on the story as like, we'd have footage for you, but we were robbed at gunpoint. You know what I mean? Why would you not say the story on the news? I can't even.
Oh man, it reminded me of like of that scene in Menace to Society where like old dog is watching his own like footage of the robbery he did. That's probably what they're doing. They're like, yo, look, this is us robbing them because they was talking about us. You know, now they ain't talking no more.
Oh my gosh. Oh, wait a minute. The episode was the second robbery this month involving a Chicago news crew after a WLS TV photographer was assaulted and robbed on August 8th while preparing to cover a weekday afternoon news conference on Chicago's what? You know what, Chicago? Maybe y'all just don't deserve the news.
Real talk. Yo, these Chicago TikToks about to get fire.
I want real good footage.
There's gonna be some ill Chicago TikToks coming out the people. Yo.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like TikToks on film or something.
Yo, the artistic value of these things is
I know. Phenomenal. Is this TikTok in 70 millimeter?
Yo, the color grading, crazy.
Yeah, this looks like Oppenheimer. This is great. Chris Nolan did this, right? He did this TikTok.
Oh man, shouts to the Shy, yo. Real talk. Oh man, few hoods make me jealous that I'm not from there sometimes. Yo, Chicago does that.
Yeah, this definitely feels like something Gastor would be proud of.
Warms my heart, yo. In other news, 3.6 million workers to be eligible for overtime pay under the proposed Biden administration rule. Biden administration will propose a new rule Wednesday that would make 3.6 million more U.S. workers eligible for overtime pay, reviving an Obama-era policy effort that was ultimately scuttled in court. The new rule, shared with the Associated Press, would require employers to pay overtime to so-called white-collar workers who make less than $55,000 a year. That's up from the current threshold of $35,568, which has been in place since 2019, when the Trump administration raised it from $23,660. In another significant change, the rule proposes automatic increases to the salary level each year. Yo,
I mean,
like
good
it.
luck with that. That's gonna be the thing that stops it.
Yeah.
But wow.
Heart's in the right place, baby. Labor advocates with liberal lawmakers have long pushed for the strong expansion of overtime protections. New rule, which is subject to public commentary period, wouldn't take effect for months and would have the biggest impact on retail, food, hospitality, and manufacturing and other industries. The Obama administration sought a raise to the threshold of more than 47,000, but it unlike that one, this one falls short of the demands by some liberal lawmakers and unions for even higher salary thresholds than the proposed 55,000. So they're hoping the changes they make kind of balance that.
Okay, so this would, if I get this correct, because if you're an hourly worker,
right?
I don't know if you necessarily think in salary terms. Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
Okay, I've been an hourly employee. That's my background. That's what I know is that I work these many hours. This is what I get. Blah 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 blah. If I work over over 40, I know it's going to be overtime.
Oh, got you.
Right. That's a given. I understand that because I'm working with hours. But when I got positions that were salaried positions where it's like, this is how much you get paid.
Yeah.
And then you have to work more hours because of a thing. My understanding here is that if you make under 55,000 and it's salaried, but you have to work over, you will get overtime for those hours.
Yep.
In that week. Okay. So then that also will require like those kinds of salaried workers to like keep track of hours.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like what a lot of people do is like, oh, well, you're salaried now, so I can just work you to the bone because you're salaried and you know you're going to get this much. And there's not as much keeping track of hours. I mean, there is, but there isn't.
Yeah.
But also no one really goes over it, but it's just, I don't know. It's a change in mindset. There are particular mindsets when you deal with your money in particular ways. And so that could just be a faulty mindset of mine where I'm just like, okay, so you have to, keep track of things in a different way, even though you're like, but I'm already going to get this money, but now really keep track of it so that you can get overtime if you need to. Did any of that make sense?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it's like a weird, I think it's weird first that this is taking this long.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Look, please give people their money. Y'all ain't doing it, so please do. Because I just wonder, because this thing says that it will, let's see, where does it say that it would have the biggest impact on retail, food, hospitality, manufacturing, and other industries. Maybe that's for managers of that.
That's kind of what I'm curious about. Yeah.
Yeah, because this said it would be like to so-called white collar workers. So that would be like me. I'm a office manager, for all intents and purposes, a receptionist, right? So it's salaried, but I work however many hours I'm supposed to work a week. And if I have to do more than that, then this is saying that I would get, and I make less than 55K, I would get overtime for the time that I make more than that. But as a office worker, when I don't know, I just feel like when you're salaried, you're just thinking, oh, I know what every check is going to look like.
Yeah.
And it may not be second nature to keep track of hours like that. Now, I mean, I'm just talking for my chaotic broke bitches out here. That's who I'm speaking for. Maybe some of you do keep track in certain ways, but I don't know.
Yeah, anytime I've been salary, I feel like they've only cared that I showed up on time. After that, It was like, yeah, like get the job done.
Yes. But I mean, but a thing that some people can't do when they're salaried, some people, and usually it would be the white collar workers who make less than 55K. They can't, when they've done their job, they can't leave. You know what I mean? There are some white collared workers who they're salaried, they get their job done, they're out.
Right.
For the day. But like I have to still be there to let people in and answer the phones. So my hours are locked in.
Right.
So like I move through that job like it's an hourly job.
Right.
But it's salary. I haven't broken down what I make an hour.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh, I know this is what this is. And I also think of it as like I work these many hours a week. So yeah, I don't know.
I'm excited because like I feel like this was like a weird loophole that like a lot of retail places were leveraging, in particular when they started to pivot to like everybody being a manager or a supervisor, because like now they were titling people as like, oh, you're the supervisor of this area, even though like there was like no direct reports. Right, like they weren't actually doing a management job per se, but they titled it so that the person could feel like they got a promotion. But money-wise, dollar per hour, it was the same as the hourly staff. But now they also had an excuse of saying, "Oh, well, you're a manager, you're on salary. We don't got to pay you overtime."
Gotcha. Okay, all right. So for those kinds of
like that's the first thing I thought of, like. Like you could take advantage of somebody saying, well, you're a manager, you're supposed to like go hard, like and work a little extra, but we pay you salary and you got this title. And like I noticed it in retail in particular that like even though everyone very quickly was being given a title of supervisor of manager, you could tell who was actually viewed as management by the corporate ends by how they bonused you. So like you'd have someone that was like a supervisor making, let's say, 15 to 20 an hour equivalent. So they're making like 600 to 800 a week, but if they nailed everything in their area, the bonus would be like $100 a month. And that's not a real bonus. That's basically like a negligible amount for the extra work you're doing if you do your job right. Whereas the store manager could, in theory, make 25% of their salary as a bonus. So if you're making like $100,000 and you tell me that, if I nail my stuff every quarter, I can make an extra $5,000 to $10,000, $25,000 for the year extra. Hell yeah, I'm a little bit more flexible about staying overtime because now there's a real like win. It's not just a direct hourly difference that I'm getting now,
Okay.
And that's kind of where I think like that gray area, they started leveraging that to jerk people working in these environments. So yeah, I'm excited that this is gonna hopefully I don't even know if it'll pass.
I hope so. It's just they're just proposing a bill. I mean, hopefully it won't get swatted down for some crazy reason like, oh, I don't know, all the salary increases that they're also trying to sneak in there, which it should happen.
Yeah,
Please give us money.
And again, real talk, like I say this as someone that owns a building whose parents are involved with businesses. If you cannot pay, if your business plan is to pay under a livable wage, you don't have a business. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, if the way for your business to succeed is to underpay people, then you don't have a viable idea yet. It just is what it is. Like, I don't know what to tell. Like, it doesn't make sense to me that, like, yo, the way we make profit is to jerk people. Like, that's not us. It's sustainable, but it's not like ethical, and you're gonna have a hell of a lot of turnover. Like, I don't know how, like, you can't build something like that. Pay people fairly, figure out how to make money by offering good services, stop being jerks as a society. You know what I mean? You know, spend the week at the beach. It offers a lot of clarity.
Oh boy, yeah, man.
I'm a new man.
Beach Gastor.
In other news, a beefed up car with a giant bull named Howdy Doody crammed into the passenger seat was pulled over by Nebraska police. Okay. A man driving a full-size bull named Howdy Doody in the passenger seat was pulled over by Nebraska police on Wednesday. Officers in Norfolk, about 120 miles from Omaha, were dispatched at 10:05 a.m. For a call for a vehicle with a cow inside. Police assumed the bovine. I've never heard that word. Bovine?
Yeah, for cow. Bovine. Yes.
Rock on. Bovine passenger would be a small calf, but what they came up upon near the corner of West Norfolk Ave and the 13th Street was a full-size bull riding shotgun on a 96 Ford Crown Victoria.
Wow, right. Not a 96 Crown Vic. What are we doing?
The car's roof on the passenger side had been removed so the animal could fit.
One of those rare T-top Crown Victorians.
Yo, you get them like that from the dealer now, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's a solid car. So I went on and purchased up and beefed up the frame that was under it and the suspension, the tires, and the floor, and cut off the top. And we were good to go, said the bull's owner, Lee Mayer. The car is a retired police cruiser from the Nebraska village of Arnold.
I was wondering, because those are cop cars, Crown Vic, cop cars or like, you know, like livery, you know, taxi cabs. They used to be what we think of when we see a taxi cab. Now it's a Toyota Camry. But I was like, you know, him saying it's a solid, I mean, they are solid cars, but I was like, was it like a cop car? Because those are reinforced. And yes.
Oh, yeah. Howdy Doody is a regular attraction at parades and fairs throughout the Cornhusker State, and police just asked the driver Wednesday to be careful and keep moving.
Wait, so they didn't...
Yo, Nebraska, yo, if anything, yo, I'm going to Nebraska next, right here, yo. That just sold me. Nebraska, I'll see y'all soon.
Wait, hold on. I'm looking at this. The 9-year-old animal, which is half Longhorn and half Watusi, I don't know how I feel about them being called Watusis, weighed 2,200 pounds 2 years ago, and is probably tipping the scales at a little bit more now, Meyer said.
He bulking.
Passenger cars are often retrofitted to transport animals. Approval and enforcement of such auto retrofits fall under the responsibility of the Nebraska State Patrol, and a representative of that agency couldn't be reached for comment. Meyer said he has never gotten any type of DMV or police approval for the wheels, and that the stop Wednesday was the first hint of any issue. I've never had a problem with anyone until Wednesday, he said. I just have car insurance, a license, and private plates, and a dream, I think, and a dream. Mr. Meyer, I feel like you can also add, I just have those things in a dream. See? And a thick ass bull. And let me tell you something. I'm looking at this picture of this bull coming out of the top of this fucking car. First of all, the Crown Vic has as its hood ornament a couple of little bull horns already on the edge of the hood. Yeah. So that's the mindset. Now, I can't really, it's so big. Full horns. It's a Longhorn. Full horns. Just spilling out of the top, covering up half of like a third of the windshield with like iron, like a metal grate, like the gate that they have at rodeos where they pull it aside to let the bull run out. My man's got one on the passenger side of his car.
Oh yeah,
to keep this bull. And did he take out the seat?
Yeah, I think you have to, right? You got to sit somewhere.
Yeah, I can't see that where the bull's like, you guys climb in the back. Hold on, let me move the seat up. I'll let you in.
Let me hit the button. Hold on, let me move the seat a little bit.
Hold on, I forget which lever it is. Hold on. Oh no, wait, I'm scooting the chair up. Hold on.
It's beautiful, yo. Like stuff like this is impossible in New York. There's too many people here. Like,
is it? I mean, my man had a tiger in the tub. Like, I can't bring that dude up enough. A full tiger in a tub in an apartment in Harlem. Like, honestly, you can do the thing that's hard is finding a place to park. Parking is certainly a bitch.
I wonder if like the bull knows to like scoot back when it needs to use the rearview mirror.
That mirror, you gotta, all your mirrors are along the side of your car. Also, where are you going in reverse? It is only forward for you. At no point did you move back. You can't see, about a blind spot. You can't see anything.
Yo, and they got trucks.
They've got trucks.
Yo, like, I was just like, I'm like, yo, there's vehicles that like could legitimately do this.
I have seen plenty of cows, plenty of horses, lots of chickens. They're all in the back of a truck. They got the goods.
They got them.
You don't. Yeah, you just being weird.
Get a van.
Sir. A van, yeah, but a Crown Vic.
Oh, my man.
You put this bull in a fucking. Like a luxury. Just imagine somebody pulling up in a Toyota Avalon or some shit.
Low-key, that was my dream car for a long time too. I wanted to Toyota
Avalon.
Oh yeah, them shoes was dope. It was like
I got in the one once and I was just like, is there a butler that comes with this car? It was too big. And cars are doing nothing but getting bigger. Like, I mean, he picked a good, I know why he picked that year, because cars were still made of mostly steel in 96. A Volvo? Come on. Think of the safety of your car. All right. Maybe a Volvo's too boxy. I have no idea.
I love that the approval system is just like a cop saying, yeah, you good. You know?
Yeah, just like, oh, okay, well, now that we know this is what you're doing.
Yeah, okay, you fine. Yeah, keep
all right,
going
go on. You and Howdy Doody have a...
no one in the article sounded like this was a big deal except for the news reporter.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, yeah, this happens all the time, right? I've been driving like this for years.
Yeah. And he's like, what? I mean, I've got my license. Yeah. I got car insurance. Do you have livestock insurance?
He ain't
what does full coverage car insurance get you these days? Does this mean that the bull is okay to drive your car?
Oh my God, this is awesome.
Oh, wow. I also want a picture of this bull coming out of this car on a t-shirt. Oh man.
I want to know if he gets in the car willingly. Like, has it done this enough?
I can't see how he gets in. Like, do you just lower him in through the hole in the roof, or does he just kind of slide in?
Yeah.
There are more questions than answers with this particular news story. Like, I feel like you're giving us what we need to know about but there are so many other things. These are the bare minimum is what you've given us. And I have a lot of questions.
Real talk. Help us out. Send us some data from Nebraska. I don't know how many listeners we got out there, but if you're out there, find out. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know, please.
In other news, a man stole millions of dollars from billionaires from prison. That's right. Early in 2020, an architect, Scott West, got a call at his office in Atlanta from a prospective client who said that his name was Archie Lee. West Designs.
Let me tell. Okay, hold on. This is a story in the New Yorker.
Yeah.
Which means this is like...
I can't read all this.
You can't read this. This is literally going to be like a novel that you read.
Yeah, I just saw this now.
Yeah. But here's like here's what's happening. Because I read the beginning of this just because I was like, I wonder how they did this. What it looks like happened is there's a fella in prison who's got people outside of prison to do all the, like, he's calling folks to buy their fancy houses, like architects or whatever, and have them build houses, and or a house that they've built that's empty, something like that. And he's not letting on. He's just like, okay, I'll have my assistant meet you at this place, or blah blah blah. And they meet and they do whatever. They buy the house and they have other work done and yada yada. And they pay him in cash. They're paying everything in cash, y'all. And it turns out it's someone who's been locked up, and he's been doing all of this from prison because he's getting like phones.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And so this made me think of, when was it? Was it last week that you thought that or was it 2 weeks ago? There was someone who was trying to get over, they were in prison and they were trying to get over, and we were like, they kind of were weak sauce with it. And this to me seemed very impressive.
I dig it. I found a more condensed version of it. Georgia inmate allegedly stole $11 million from a billionaire movie mogul and used the cash to buy a mansion in Atlanta while he was locked up in maximum security prison.
Maximum security?
Yo, my man's doing it, yo. I love this. Arthur Lee Cofield was 31, allegedly impersonated Sidney Kimmel, an uber-wealthy chairman and CEO of a Los Angeles entertainment company, with the help from contraband cell phones from inside the Georgia Department of Corrections. Cofield, who was serving time for armed robbery, allegedly stole the identity of Kimmel, 94, and then swiped millions of dollars from his Charles Schwab account. Over the phone, the gang member allegedly tricked customer service reps with the financial service company to wire the money to a company in Idaho to buy up more than 6,000 American Eagle 1-ounce gold coins. From there, he got a private plane to bring the coins to Atlanta, using a portion of them to help purchase a $4.4 million house in Buckhead. Cofield was charged with conspiracy to commit bank fraud and money laundering. Two others outside of the prison are also accused of being involved with the wild scheme. This happened last year, but he officially got pleaded guilty and all of that and sentenced.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah, because you
know,
my man.
That seems like so much work. That's what I say about these capers and schemes, is that it's so much work.
And like, it's for a house you can't live in.
Right.
Like, you still inside, my G.
Yeah. So like, when were you going to get out? And like, and everything was just going to be set up for you? But when were you going to get out? Like, I feel like he was already, like, if you're in maximum security, I feel like you're going to be there for a while. I don't know, but it feels like that's a thing that you do for the long haul.
Yeah, you don't do maximum security, then you out next week.
Yeah, no, you in there, because they got to put you under the jail. So that's going to take some time.
Yo,
so you're kind of in there.
Deadbeat fathers, man. Like, you catching L's with this one. Like, my man could not be further away from opportunity. And he said, no, I'm still providing for the people outside, okay? You want a mansion to live in? Don't worry about it. Daddy got you, okay?
I mean, I don't think it was for the children.
You know, where there's a will, there's a way. This is inspiring.
Yeah, I don't think there was a will. I don't think there was a kid. I think this was just I mean,
listen,
you got to do something with this money that you stole from this person, right? You steal their identity. You got to do a thing with the money. You can't just have the money sitting there.
I can't wait for the Disney movie. This is going to be beautiful.
Yeah, this is going to be this will be a great movie, I think. I think it should be a movie, not a documentary. I want to see, I don't know who, because also I didn't realize he was 31. So we need a young person. Who's this, what's his name? Is it Damson Idris?
Okay.
Yeah,
is that the dude from
Snowfall?
Snowfall. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I feel he seems to have what it takes, perhaps. I think,
I like that kid.
Charming wise, to make us believe that this man needed this mansion in Buckhead.
I'm with it, yo. If you would like to produce the animated film for kids of this story, you know, the inspiring story of the man in prison, maximum security prison.
I don't think it's inspiring. I don't know if it's inspiring.
Who went through it all to support his family, you know, providing them with literal gold coins. You know, it couldn't be more of a fairy tale, okay? You know, we call it
real pirate behavior. Real pirate behavior.
They call it rainbows from prison, you know? All you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple, Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars. You think there's gonna be some hiccups with the idea of this film and the target audience, okay?
Yeah, maybe.
5 stars. You understand and you're open-minded to the fact that sometimes children's films can have curses in them, okay? You know, and you're excited for the project, okay? Millions will be made. Okay. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs this week to JJ Rutherford Wolf, Lori McDaniel, Iron Fist Mom, and Philip Barnett. Always appreciate y'all. With all that said, I am admittedly excited to be both a producer on this project and also inspired just in general by the story. Gastor Almonte.
And I'm always shaking my head at Gastor and Shalewa Sharpe. Learning the wrong lessons from these stories.
Wrong lessons at the right time. The War Report. Okay. Catch y'all next time. Peace.